The thirst trap has a tendency to make you believe that you are further from your goal than you actually are. See, Jesus has a desire. He wants water. He is thirsty, but he's only 2 feet off the ground, and his goal is the ground. But when you're thirsty, you think you're further than you are. When you're thirsty, you think you're broker than you are. When you're thirsty, you think single is bad. When you're thirsty, you think not having friends is an issue. When you're thirsty, you see somebody else with a brand new car, and you think that God doesn't love you because yours barely starts up. When you're thirsty, you have a perception that you are further away than you actually are. But God sent me on this Resurrection Sunday morning to tell you that you're just a few feet away from your goal. You're just a few inches away from where he wants you to be. I know you're thirsty. I know you're hungry. I know you're broke. I know you're broken. But God says you're not that far. Wherever you are, I want you to know you're not that far. You might be hanging. You might be nailed. You might be crucified. You may have filed bankruptcy. They have perhaps taken your job. God said, I let them take the job because you were just 2 months away from starting a business. And if I had to take you through a virus to get there, then you got to understand my ways are not your ways and my thoughts are not your thoughts. I wanted to tell everybody, whether you're in Sacramento, whether you're in Santa Barbara, whether you're in Miami, Florida, whether you're in Houston, Texas, whether you are in New York, whether you are in Detroit, whether you are in New Orleans, I don't care where you are, you're not far from your goal. I know you're bleeding. I know you're crying. I know you're thirsty, but you ain't that far. I dare you go wake up everybody in your house and say, we ain't that far. We're not that far from being millionaires. We're not that far from this house being paid off. We're not that far from being debt free. We're not that far from our student loans disappearing. We're not that far from getting rid of the credit card. Somebody shout, I'm not that far away. Don't you fall for that thirst trap. Don't you let that thing make you think you're far away. Don't you let that thing make you think that God's going to make you wait. And if he does, they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall walk and not be weary, and run and not faint. I want you to shout, I ain't that far. I want you to scream it till you wake up your neighbor. I want you to say it until you believe it. Shout, I'm not that far. The thirst trap wants you to believe that you're further from your goal than you actually are.